Hey guys, welcome back to Reality Benders episode 3. I just want to do a quick intro before we hop in the episode. So, as this podcast develops, I am trying to figure out how I want to frame it, right? Now, essentially, the goal of this podcast is based on this framework I have, right? It's pretty straightforward. The key to success is identifying what you want, finding out who has done that and accomplished getting what you want, then learning from them on what they did to get there. Now, I know that seems super simple. That framework is really what I've done to get any success I have, right? And it's simple, but you got to put in a lot of work to do that, right? Now, for me, my goals are to become a full-time musician. So that is the reality I'm trying to bend towards my own will. And so today's guest, he goes by the name of Young Lex, is someone that has actually accomplished that. So he's gotten, his music has gotten probably to this point about 10 million streams. He's worked with big artists like Joyner Lucas, and he's literally living the life I'm trying to create. So I decided to have him on the podcast so I could, pick his brain a little more about how he did that, right? And we talk, about the importance of Facebook ads and, how important those are. I've been really getting into those recently. That is a tool that no matter what you're doing, whether, for me, that's music, any business endeavor, if you can master Facebook ads, you can literally change your life. And so I just want you guys to understand that, I'm talking about with him the context of using Facebook ads for music. But even if you're not a musician, understand that this is a tool that can be used in any industry. And if you can really take a hold of it, you're literally printing money. It's crazy. So that being said, let's get in the episode. And if you like what you hear, please share it and go subscribe on YouTube. Peace. Welcome to Reality Benders episode 3. Today we got Young Lex. He's gotten millions of streams on Spotify. He's absolutely killing it. Say what's up to the people.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Young Lex, spelled with a number 3. Yeah.
Cool, man. So tell me about like when you decided to get into music. A lot of people, they like making music, but they don't take that leap of being like, I want to make a career out of this. So like tell me about like what made you decide to like go all in?
Well, I've been making music my whole life since I was like 10, just like making music in my bedroom for years. Then around like 18 or 17, I decided like, all right, this is what I really want to do. Because I was working like jobs where I was like excelling at the jobs, but I like hated it. Mm-hmm. And then when I would work on music, it just felt like nothing. It just like felt like it was part of me. So I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, yeah, these jobs that I'm working are good and paying the bills, but I hate it here. Or like they're giving me anxiety or making me depressed and stuff. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go all in with the music. So I think 2013, 2014 is like when I really like dedicated, like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and then tell me about like that first year when you got started. Like did you see momentum or like was shit like what was that experience like?
Did I see momentum? Honestly, it's hard for me to like judge momentum since I'm like so into it. Mm-hmm. And since I want like so much out of it, like even when it started moving, like I didn't like really see it or really mm-hmm. appreciate it. For me to see like major momentum, it took like a couple mistakes or like getting burnt that turned into mm-hmm. like blessings in disguise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I guess I saw momentum because I went from like just having hundreds of songs on my computer that nobody was hearing, just like just me recording every day. Yeah. And then I finally started putting songs out and promoting them on Facebook, and they started like picking up some tractions. And that's all I ever wanted. It was just like the music that I was working on to get heard. So
yeah. So when you first started, did you like initially think like I'm going to start advertising this? Like, was that your first, or did you just put it out there and see what happened?
Yeah, no, I just put it out there and saw what happened. And then I was trying to figure out how the hell could I get more people to see this or listen to this, and just started doing research, and I discovered Facebook ads back in 2015 when it wasn't like too popular among music artists.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, all right, fuck it, let me just give it a try. And once I started off like not investing too much in it, but the money I invested, I saw like, oh, I picked up a real fan today, or the song got some streams. So that's all I needed to see. It's like, all right, this works and people are listening to my music. That's all I needed to see.
Once you tasted blood.
Yeah, that's it.
I know I can do that. That's the same thing that happened with me when I started my Amazon business. Like there's this like period where you're just getting started and it's exciting because it's new, but like you don't really know what's like if it's going to work out. And like what I feel like happens with a lot of people is they just need that one like small win that just shows them like, all right, like if I put in work, I'm going to see something in return. And like, once you see that, you go, okay, well, I know there's so much more I could be doing. And you just, it's like a shark tasting blood. Like you just attack after that.
Yeah, and I feel you. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. I saw like a little, I mean, it was like a small ass win, but that was enough to like just encourage me to go down that path.
Now, I'm sure as you know, like everyone on social media likes to flex when they're doing good, but this shit goes in cycles. You know what I mean? Like you have big wins and then you have like periods where you have to work your ass off and like everything that could go wrong does go wrong. Have you ever like reached a point where you considered quitting?
Yeah, I mean, considered quitting. I mean, there's been many points where I considered quitting honestly, because like, like I have like some people look at me like, oh, you have all these streaming numbers and success, but that wasn't like an overnight thing, and it was like a lot of hard work, a lot of releasing music, a lot of money invested into it, a lot of money lost, a lot of just like hard lessons I had to learn. Maybe like last year, I think it's like the first time I considered like actually like, you know what, maybe there's something else, because I'm like a big spiritual person and I believe like the universe is guiding you. So last year I felt like like when you like, for example, 2017 I was growing, 2018 I was growing, then 2019 I just like stopped growing and started going down. So I'm like, all right, why is this happening? And maybe like God is trying to like take me in a different direction. And so yeah, that's probably like first time I felt like quitting, because I got into crazy debt last year, and nothing like the songs I thought were gonna take. Yeah, the songs I thought that were gonna take off didn't take off. The opportunities I thought were gonna come didn't come. I saw people that I mean, it's not good to compare yourself to nobody, but I saw people that I was working with like blow up and stuff. So I'm like, all right, maybe it's something else, or.
Well, that's such a struggle too. It's even when you understand that comparison is bad and you can completely logically know that doing that is never going to be beneficial, it still gets at you when you see someone next to you that you both been working hard and you feel like you've been working just as hard, if not harder than them, and you see them take off. It's so hard not to like have that irk you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, I feel you like that. Especially like last year, it's like I'm now like sitting now. I'm glad that last year happened, because like I've grown a lot and I learned a lot from it. But last year I was like just lost. Like, all right, why isn't it working? Like, why are my numbers going down? Why am I losing fans, losing money? Then I just started like thinking about like karma. Like maybe I have like bad karma in like a past life or some shit. Like I couldn't like put it together. And all it really was, it was just like the universe like getting me ready for something else, and I had to like learn that the hard way.
Well, you know, especially in 2020, you know, most of the marketplace, no matter what it is you're doing, you know, it's all ran on these algorithms, right? Whether you're selling products on Amazon or you're using Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or any of these social media platforms, they're all ran by algorithms. And you know what people do is they go, how can I game this algorithm to get what I want? And then the algorithm goes, here's all the way people are taking advantage of us. Let's fix it so they can't do that. So these strategies you use that could be the entire strategy that got you to success stop working. And now you're at this point where you've set a new standard for what you expect from yourself, but what got you there isn't working anymore. And you have to go back to the drawing board. And it's like terrifying because you're like, well, what if I'm a one-trick pony and I can't find anything else? But like, that's really the game we're playing here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
And at least for me, like, I heard this quote, I'm probably going to botch it, but it's like the people that will be successful in the 21st century are the people that can like learn, unlearn, and relearn the quickest.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not who's the smartest, it's who's the most adaptable that wins.
Yeah, no, I feel that because like even just like with running ads for music, like I was doing it one way in 2017, 2018. I was doing it like that. 2018, it didn't work. 2019 it didn't work. This year I had to like relearn everything and do it over. So yeah, I feel like the people that adapt to change are the ones that are going to succeed long term, and the ones that are willing to try things out. Because like I could have saw like what I was doing wrong in my ads last year and not tried anything new this year, but I started just like doing more research and seeing like, oh, some people are trying this, some people are trying that. Let me incorporate that. Like as soon as I saw it, I acted on it. Some people see something and they're like, oh, I'll try it tomorrow. I'll try it next week. Like not me. I'm like, as soon as I see something that is working for somebody, I'm just gonna try it myself to see how it goes.
So to expand on that, like one thing I am constantly back and forth on is this, I know that there's all these things I'm trying to juggle, but like, I know that in reality, only about 20% of that is producing majority of my results.
Yeah.
But I find like, just naturally, I tend to want to do it all. Like, do you focus on like one thing and really lean on that? Or do you manage multiple things at a time?
I think I manage multiple things at a time. I can't really like focus on one thing. Like, for example, like before I got on this call, I was working on songs, and I work like on a lot of songs. But the way I work on music is like I write 20 hooks. Like I would just like listen to beats for like 3 hours and come up with as many hooks as possible. And like if you look at my computer, I have like hundreds of songs that are just hooks that are not finished because I can't just like focus on one thing. Like I just like doing multiple things and then finishing them along like the course of time instead of just like honing into one thing and finish on like working on it, I guess. Yeah. It's hard to explain, but I feel like for me, I work.
Do you set like measurable goals? Like what is your process of like chasing success? Like how, like walk me through like what you've done to get to the point. Like do you set certain targets and you're like, all right, I'm going to try and hit it? Or like, what is your process of like moving forward and succeeding?
In the past I used to set targets and I felt like that didn't work. So recently I just take it day by day, honestly. Like if like just use streaming as an example. As long as I'm doing better than I was doing last year, I'm winning. Or as long as I'm doing better than I was doing a month ago, I'm winning. Given the fact that currently I'm promoting and spending money on ads. So I just take it day by day, honestly. And then maybe at the end of the month, I might like calculate the growth. But I try not to set like write down lofty goals anymore. Because like in the past I did that, and like I feel like the least expectations you have in life, the better things result. Like when you have like these extreme expectations, like that, just you're setting yourself up for failure. So lately I just go with the flow.
Well, I think it's that balance of like wanting to set a goal that stretches you and pushes you outside of your limits, but isn't so far out of your limits that you subconsciously don't think you're going to reach it and don't put in the necessary work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like what I did, for example, this year is, right now I'm at about, at the beginning of the year, I like really started doing music. Like I had projects released, but never had marketed them or promoted them, just released them. And I had like 8 monthly listeners. And I'm like, all right, my goal for 2020 is to get 350,000 streams on Spotify, which I thought between all my releases, like I should be able to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
And, in the first couple months, like COVID happened and all this shit. And like, I lost my job and like, I was trying to get out of debt and all. So like I got set back, but now I'm at a point where I'm like really starting to get momentum and like, I'm nowhere crazy, but last month I was at like 12 monthly listeners, and this month I'm at like 225. And I know as long as I keep those right habits in place, that it's going to compound over time. And I really, truly believe I'm going to hit that mark by the end of the year, even though, you know, I didn't necessarily know how at the beginning.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sometimes all it takes is just like knowing you're gonna get there, believing you're gonna get there, and just like manifesting that into existence.
It's crazy how that works. Like, I remember trying to get my first gig, and I performed in front of like, you know, I would kill to get a house show in front of like 5 people. You know what I mean? And like that was the goal for me. And like I had
Yeah,
no idea how to do it. And you know, next thing you know, I'm opening up, you know, at these shows, and then I meet some artists, you know, start talking to them, learn, you know, that you can talk to promoters and get shows through promoters. And then now I'm opening up for some bigger artists like, you know, Joyner, Waka Flocka, Riff Raff. And I'm like starting to be like, whoa, like I remember when I couldn't even get a show, and like now I'm opening up for these big artists. Like,
yeah,
I wonder what that next stage is where, you know, from this perspective, it doesn't seem possible, but I just got to learn that one thing to do like I did with this, and it will get me there. You know what I mean? You just
yeah,
start to slowly level up, like you go level 1, level 2, level 3. And, you know, when you're doing it day to day, like the progression is so small that you don't like, it's easy to get discouraged. But if you look back from like a far enough back perspective, you can like see the growth trend, you know what I
oh
mean?
yeah, not facts. I feel like life is it's like a game. Like you just got like some levels are easier than others, and like the levels in life are the lessons that you have to learn in life. And
Mm-hmm.
so some of them take longer to learn, some of them are easy to beat, but it's just all about like leveling up
What
like
do you think is
throughout the course
the
of life.
biggest lesson you've learned?
Um, Probably like patience. Um, like I said, I'm like one of those people. Like when I see something, I like act on it, or like when I have an idea, I have to do it quickly. When I
Mm-hmm.
want something out, like I want it now. But
Yeah.
I had to learn just like patience. That everything's in like the universe's hands, and everything works out the way it's supposed to work out. Even though we all want it now. Say like if
Mm-hmm.
I blew up right now.
Yeah.
Actually, if I blew up like 2 years ago, say if I blew up two
Yeah.
years ago, if I would have blown up, I wasn't like ready because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know much about financing. The music wasn't great or as good as it is
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah.
I would have probably signed a bad deal. So like,
Yeah.
it's just all about like patience and just like trusting the
What was
process.
that? What was such a mind fuck to me is I was going through my photo folder on my Mac the other day, and I found this old music video. It was like the second music video I ever made. And I remember at the time, it was the first time like I actually started getting good at writing, but like my tone and my delivery was absolute garbage. But to me, like I was just happy that I was getting those lyrics down. So in my head, I thought I was the fucking shit. And then
Yeah,
I was like listening to it now, and I'm like, I was trash. But like in my head, like I had already made the leap. And to me, it was as if I had already, like I was expecting I was just going to get handed everything because I was already that good. You know
yeah.
what
I
I
feel
mean?
like when you're trying to get on or making music, you got to have that type of delusion that
Yeah.
like your stuff is like that good or great, because
Mm-hmm.
like maybe like a year from now you might hear that song that you thought was so great, like, oh, this shit was trash, or 2 years from now, like, oh damn, that shit was horrible. Like that happens with me a lot too. Like I listen to old stuff, I'm like, damn, I can't believe this has that many streams,
Mm-hmm.
like this shit's garbage. Or
Yeah.
but in that moment I thought that was like the best thing ever, and like, yo, this is about to blow up. And but like looking back at it, it's like, nah. But I mean, that's what life is all about, growing and
Yeah.
getting better over time.
How do you handle people's opinions of your music? Like, do you ever get negative comments on your shit?
Um, Thankfully, I haven't really got too many negative
Mm-hmm.
comments that I can think of. I'm trying to think of an example. I'm pretty sure I have, but not like overwhelming. Like
Mm-hmm.
most of the comments I get is like, "Oh, this is dope," or "I relate to this,"
Yeah.
or such and such.
I just found
Um,
sometimes when I run Facebook ads that like if I target it kind of off, like I get some people talking shit, but like at the end of the day, it's like music is all subjective.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's
I was
it's
about to
this
say
tough
that.
balance. Is like it's hard to tell when someone is giving constructive criticism and when it's just their opinion. Like it's hard for me to tell sometimes like the difference. You know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
I feel you. Like I try to, when I see something negative, I just like shrug it off, because it's like subjective, opinionated. There's people that think Jay-Z's music is not good. There's people that think
Mm-hmm.
Drake's music is not good, or
Yeah.
anybody that you consider the best artist, they think their music is not good, and that
Yeah.
just shows you like it's everybody has their own taste. So just because somebody doesn't like my music doesn't like
Yeah.
mean they're like a bad person or I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna like them. It's just all right. You don't like my music, okay? Like that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so I'm curious, what do you think is going to be the biggest thing that would keep you from being successful right now?
Biggest thing. Honestly, I don't. I feel like if anything was to keep me from being successful was probably last year, like just the
Mm-hmm.
mentality I was in last year, or
What was
how
that?
low, how low things got. Just like wanting to quit or like not seeing like, all right, how am I gonna turn this around? But now going forward, like I know the strategies I have set in place, the music that I'm working on, the music that I plan on releasing, like it's only going to continue to grow. Like I don't really see no way that I won't succeed and somehow like my ultimate goal is just to continue making a living off music,
Mm-hmm.
and then anything else that comes as a bonus. So I
Yeah,
don't really
and
see what
you
would get
know,
in the way.
a big reason why I wanted to do this interview with you is, I'm a firm believer that the key to becoming successful is identifying like what do you want, who has it, figure out what they did to get it, and you repeat that process. And then
Yeah,
that gives you
definitely.
feedback and you just keep repeating it and bouncing it off them and bouncing it off other people that have what you want already.
Yeah,
And so what's interesting is, my big goal for 2020 is to reach that point where I can live off my music, and so it's interesting hearing from someone that's accomplished that. Like, at the end of the day, all of us, like, we really just want to be able to not work a shitty job and be able to
yeah,
wake up and like express ourselves through music and enjoy that, right? Like anything past that, obviously we're going to shoot for it and it's going to be dope when we get there. But just the fact that you get to live off your music, you've already won.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now I started looking at it like in the past I wouldn't even like when I was living off music last year, even though it was like a rough year, I was still living off music. But I wasn't like viewing it like as a blessing. I was like so focused on like I want more, I want this, I want when I drop a song, this many people to listen to it, like
Mm-hmm.
not appreciating. Like, wait, hold on, you're living off music. What else do you want? It's like,
Well, it takes losing it to really understand what you have. Like that's what happened with my business. Like it was crazy. Like I was so fucking set on being a millionaire. And then
yeah,
I made it to six figures. I thought I was the shit. I was 20 years old at six figures. You couldn't tell me fucking anything. But at the end of the day, I had no social life. I did nothing but work. I was insecure as fuck. And it was all because I was doing that all because I cared what people thought about me and I was doing it to flex on them. When the end of
mm,
the day, like, what happened was like I made all this money and then I was just fucking depressed because it didn't fill that void inside me.
yeah,
And I realized because I would like go tell someone, be like, oh yeah, like I'm making 20 grand a month. They'd be like, oh, that's cool. I'm just like, fuck you. That's cool. I worked 3 years to get there, bro. Like, and
yeah,
then, so what I realized, like when that business collapsed on me and I had to like start over and rebuild up, that it's like, dude, no one gives a fuck. Whether
yeah.
you're
Not at all.
successful or not, they're worried about their own life. So instead of trying to do shit to like posture against other people, just ask yourself, like, what do I want that would like actually make me happy and fulfilled and be a life I enjoy? And when you chase after that, like just the fact you're chasing after it is like what is success. That's what success is.
Yeah,
Success
no,
isn't a
definitely.
number. You know what I mean? It's that feeling of fulfillment where you wake up every day and like you're hyped.
Yeah, because
You
it's
know what I
like
mean?
people that have millions of dollars or everything they want in life and are miserable inside
Yeah.
because they don't have what they truly want,
I
or
mean, I
they're
hate
like,
when people say like money is the root of all evil. Like it's really just a tool.
yeah,
You know what
not
I mean?
facts.
And when you're putting your entire happiness in the hands of a tool, like that's like an inanimate object. Like that's not going to do anything. It just has the potential to do something. So if you don't
Yeah,
have a bigger reason outside of that, or like a good reason, like for me, I had a reason that was strong enough to make me work, But at the end of the day, that wasn't the right reason. And even though it gave me motivation, once I got it, it's just a horizon line you never reach, because I'm still
Yeah,
insecure. So I'm like, oh, okay, 20 grand a month, I'm still insecure. So maybe I need to make 40 grand a month. And like, you reach this point where it's like, I can't keep doing this shit. And
yeah, yeah,
it took it getting taken away from me to realize that. But like, what's so cool about music now is like, I've been through the process of building a business. So I understand that there is a path to get there and that I can do it. It's just going to take a lot of work, and I got to fucking really bite down. But like, at the end of the day, like, just the fact that I'm doing something I enjoy all day instead of something that I'm tolerating, like, I'm so much more happier, even though like, to the textbook definition, I'm way less successful.
yeah, yeah. Not feel you.
You know what I mean? So let me ask you this. How do you like, where do you see yourself going in the next year?
Next in the next year. So the way I have this year lined up, um, I'm gonna be promoting heavily for the rest of the year. I'm releasing a song every 2 weeks. So I'm hoping by next year that, well, I know by next year that my streaming numbers are going to continue to go up. I'm going to make more money from my music.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully by next year I could generate enough fans where I could start doing my own shows. That's pretty much it. Like,
Do you do you put any focus into like growing your network at all?
like what? Like meeting people?
Yeah, like meeting, like getting bigger features, or like meeting people that have connections in the industry. Or are you more just focused on your own lane?
Um, Now I'm only focused on my own lane, but
Mm-hmm.
in the past I was like networking like with anybody. Like I studied. Like I'm very like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the word is, but I studied like the music game. So I know everybody that works at every label. I know all the A&Rs.
Mm-hmm.
I know their assistants. I know such and such. Like I remember I was at the Revolt conference here in LA like in November, and there was like a lot of artists there that were fanning out or like trying to get like, say if like Snoop Dogg walked by or Diddy,
Yeah.
they would like start crying. Oh my God, it's Diddy. Please put me on. Please do this and that. But meanwhile, they didn't know that the person that they've been sitting to on the bench this whole time works at Warner or
Yeah.
works at Atlantic, or so like me,
Yeah.
I tried the network route because I knew everybody that works at every label. I tried to get in contact with them. I was able to get in contact with them, but I saw that nothing happened. And I realized, like, especially with music, they want you to put yourself on and you to build your own thing, and then they'll come. So
Mm-hmm.
instead
You
of
need
me trying to
leverage
taste,
first.
yeah, build leverage. That's
They're
it.
not going to give you leverage, and if they do give you what you want, since they have all the leverage, you're going to be fucked once you get it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so you're
So
better off
honestly,
just building that yourself. Like, we have all the tools now. Like, there's no gatekeeper anymore.
yeah, not definitely. So that's been my goal for like the
Yeah.
rest of the year. I'm like, all right, just gonna keep building it myself,
Mm-hmm.
build leverage, and be happy knowing that I'm building it myself. And if
Yeah.
somebody comes down the line, they do. If they don't, at least I'm still making a living off music and doing what I want in life. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah. Who's your dream feature?
My dream feature, Drake.
Drake? Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I have a lot of dream features, but
Yeah.
I
Is
was
there
like,
anyone realistically that you could collab with right now that you're like, that you think you could line up, like, that's around your level or a little higher?
honestly, I don't know, because I reach, like, when it comes to collabing, I reach out to a lot of people like
Mm-hmm.
that are, I'll guess just stay on my level, and they never like reach back or see the message on Instagram. So
Yeah. Like,
um
what's been your experience with that? Like, as you've grown an audience, like, do you find it's easier to make those connections, or like what has that experience been like for you now that you do have leverage?
um well, honestly, I feel like it's the same when I didn't have leverage. Like I'm always been the type of person, like if I see somebody dope or see
Yeah.
somebody, like I mainly collab with singers.
Yeah.
So if I like, for years I've been like reaching out to like a bunch of singers, and I get
Yeah.
the same amount of responses I got 2 years ago when I had less numbers now.
Interesting.
It's partly because, like, honestly, it's just like if you look at my Instagram is not popping like that compared to
Yeah.
my Spotify. Like my Spotify is like what's really popping. So
Yeah.
maybe if they saw that, they'll be like, oh, hold on, let me reply. Because like most people do shit for clout or like, all right. So I just attribute it to that.
Yeah. Do you plan on like just sticking with your strategy right now of just like mainly doing Facebook ads and like letting your audience kind of grow organically through that? Or do you plan on putting out like additional social media content as well?
Like I'm Facebook strategy, the Facebook ads is definitely my main goal right now, but I'm willing to adapt to like anything that comes. Like if I find something else that works for me, then I'll try it. But like I said, like I know of somebody that is has like over 500,000 monthly listeners and making $20,000 a month just using the Facebook ad strategy. So like you said, you see somebody that's doing something you want and just mimic what they're doing. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Like I saw
I might
that,
have to make that pivot, man. Cause like, at least for me, you know, this podcast is really my way to nurture and grow a relationship with my audience so they can see who I am as a person and like what I'm interested in. But, you know, at the end of the day, like I'm trying to make money from my fucking music. You know what I mean? So like, if I think at least for me, like one of the, like, if like what, it doesn't matter what you're doing though, like whether you're, you know, like if you're running any kind of business, like if you can get good at Facebook ads, that is a literal game changer. Like you're literally printing money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're literally buying like whatever you want, whether that's an audience, whether that like if you can set up these ads in a way where you let the algorithm do its thing and then you're putting in $1 and getting out $2, like you're literally making a machine that prints money.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, that's
crazy.
It works. So I'm just gonna like, all right, stick with it and see.
What do you think, like, how have you gotten to the point where you got it to work? Like, is it just going on YouTube, going on Google, or like, how did you really, you know, educate yourself to the point that it worked?
Just trial and error, honestly. Like when I first started working on Facebook ads, I wasn't like looking at YouTube videos or nothing like that. I was just like, try it, and some things just like worked. And also, what worked for me beginning like early on was like the type of music I was making or like the videos. Like I had visuals for every song, and the visuals had like shock value to them. So like on Facebook, I run an ad on a video that has shock value or that's like deep or something, and people
Like,
will
what's an
share
example of shock value?
Like it would be just like a video with like a shocking twist or like a deep ass song that people could relate to. So
And are these
I feel
videos
like
you're making or like finding?
now these were like videos I was making.
Okay.
So like
with an iPhone or something?
No, like my boy, he does like all my music videos when I do
Oh,
music
okay.
videos.
Okay, like your actual music videos. Okay.
Yeah. So those videos were like they had some type of shock value. So that type of content was working great on Facebook because like it's people see it, they share it, and I'm running ads on it, and people are sharing it, so it's making it go viral in a way. So that's how like my ads really started taking off, just sharing content that was like shock value. I'll just call it shock value. But then over the years, I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to just make that type of music. I want to do what I want. So then it's harder to run ads on music that's just like
more niche.
Yeah, I guess. So I had to like. That's when I started looking into like YouTube videos and learning how to promote the songs.
Interesting. So what do you think is like for someone, let's say in like my position, for example, that they know they need to be running ads, they, you know, or they have good music, they've put it out and now they're just kind of, but they don't necessarily have that audience yet. Like what advice would you give to help them like start to grow that?
I'll definitely say just invest as much money as you can per month or per day into Facebook ads. Take advantage of the toned in tool I said earlier. Try to try, and if you don't have money for ads, try to find ways to grow organic fans, either like through TikTok or mainly TikTok. Unless see like a lot of people blowing up off that.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty good traction on TikTok. It's crazy, but like the problem is that I struggle with is, all right, I'll grow this audience, but like, how do you get them to go listen to your shit?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because I know people with, thousands and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of, followers. And I see these people all the time where it's like they have this large audience, but it's not necessarily an engaged audience.
Yeah.
So it's almost more of like a vanity metric, because it's like, all right, cool, you have that large audience, but like, what is that audience doing for you? You know what I mean?
And I feel you.
So it's
I
like,
mean, I guess.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, reiterate. The best way to, like, for small artists is just to invest into Facebook ads and Instagram ads, but learn it before you invest it into it. Because some people, like, they might try to, like, boost a post or promote a post and get discouraged, but you have to, like, really, like, learn about, like, conversions and running ads that way.
So what would you say to the person that's like, all right, man, like, I tried that and, I spent all this money and like nothing happened, and like, I don't really have all this extra money to spend. Like what would you tell someone like that?
I mean, just a couple of things you could say. First, they're probably not doing it right. Second of all, Facebook ads, you're going to lose money to begin with. The stream is only worth like a fraction of a cent. So it's not like one stream is $1 and you're making the money back. So you got to be willing to like lose money to begin with when it comes to like getting streams. And third of all, if it's not working, then the music might just not be good. Like a lot of people don't take that into consideration when running Facebook ads. Like I see like a lot of ads that not saying like my music is the best or like, but sometimes you just got to be honest with people. Like just keep working, like just keep going back to the drawing board. And like if I was running ads on the music I was making 3 years ago, I would not be seeing the results I'm seeing now. So that's what I'll tell them.
Cool. Well, that pretty much covers it. Pretty much everything I had. Tell them about the album that you're promoting right now with these cassette tapes.
Oh yeah. So I have this album. Cool. I had this album called The Breakthrough. Meaning the title of the album, The Breakthrough, is mainly because like last year, like I said, I was going through like a hard year. Like every single night, I would like pray or go to sleep. Like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna have my breakthrough. And it wouldn't happen. The next day I'll do that. Tomorrow I'm gonna have a breakthrough, and I just kept doing that for like the whole year last year. And so this year I was like, you know what, fuck it, fuck relying on other people, or I'm just gonna create my own breakthrough. So that's what this project was. So then I over the years I had these like little cassette tapes that I made when I was networking with music industry people that I would give it to them and it'll just draw their attention because it was like so different other than me handing them a business card or I'll hand them this mixtape tape looking thing. So it's like I just I had a couple left from last year. I'm like, you know what, how could I use this for me instead of like trying to get like impress like these music people industry. So I created a project. Basically it's out now. It's a 11-track project that people could purchase right now to get full access of the album. So I'll mail them the little cassette tape. On the back of it, it will be a QR code that you'll scan with your phone, and it'll take you to a private link if you want to hear the full album right now. But if not, I'm releasing a song from that album every 2 weeks. So like tonight, I'm releasing one song from that album, and then in 2 weeks I'll do the same thing, and I'm gonna ride that out from now until like November, I think it is. That way, like I wanted to put out a project, but it doesn't make sense putting out a project now because the way the algorithms work and nobody wants to hear a full project. So I'm
Nobody's gonna hear that 8th song on a project.
Yeah. So I'm like,
as much as if you just release it as a single.
Yeah. So I'm like, how could I like work on a project and still release it, but also still release singles? So that's like the idea I came up with in order to take advantage of both.
That's what's so empowering about once you learn the skill set of Facebook ads is it gives you room to test and be creative with your strategies. You just got to understand the framework first of like how everything works. And then you can break down, you can like reverse engineer these formulas to be like, what do I think will work and why? And then like, you know, you just get sharper and sharper and you have more context. You have the ability to test a bunch of different shit. And once you know how to read that data it gives you, like, and tweak it properly, it's game over, because you're literally in a position where it's like, all right, I know exactly, I have this skill set it takes to make successful ad that's making me money and building me a career. And this could work for any industry. And then you just go, all right, what is a creative way that's out of the box that could get me the result I want? And then you just test it.
Yeah. So yeah,
You know what
that's
I mean?
pretty much what I'm doing. It's just a test
Yeah.
that I'm doing this year with that. But then like I saw that it's like people were interested in it. So like going forward, anytime I release a project, that's what I'm going to do. Just like give people the opportunity to get it months in advance and release a song a week. So
Hell yeah, man. Well, I think you're fucking killing it. That's why I wanted to bring you on here. Super interesting picking your brain. Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
yeah, no doubt. Thank you for having me. And
Definitely.
if you ever have any questions regarding Facebook ads, feel free to reach out to me.
I got you, bro.